Hi, it's Everyday Man back with another video. This time we have to change the recoil on this 5-horse Briggs & Stratton, which is attached to a rototiller. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be easy. So let's see what we have to do. The recoil assembly is attached to the engine with 4 bolts. There's 2 on the top and then there's 1 underneath on each side. I'm using a 3/8 inch socket to remove the top bolts, and you also use the 3/8 inch socket for the 2 side bolts. It's nice in this case because I can unscrew them with my fingers after breaking them loose with the socket wrench. Sometimes it's not that easy. And I always put a white tray of some sort, doesn't have to be white, on the floor to hold the bolts and all the accessory parts so you don't lose them and you don't get them dirty. Now I'm going to remove the 2 bottom bolts. They're on the bottom sides of the recoil assembly. This one up front is pretty difficult to get to, but I was able to use a 1/4 inch ratchet to get in there. On the back side I'm working on right now, I was able to get that off with the same 1/4 inch socket as well. Once you break them free, they come off pretty easy. And once these are off, we can take the recoil assembly off. I didn't buy an exact replacement for the cord or the rope. The one I bought's a little bit larger diameter, so we're going to have to do a little bit of a modification to this plastic receiver that the rope or the cord rides on inside the recoil assembly. So the hole in the plastic is smaller because the original rope or the cord was smaller. So I'm just slightly opening up that hole just a little bit with a drill. It's only plastic and the part is real inexpensive if I did happen to break it. Now that I opened it up, you can see that the cord goes right into it just fine. This is the most difficult part of the whole process. The spring was unsprung when I took it all apart. So we have to basically wind the spring back into the carrier, that plastic part. I'm not sure what the exact name of that is, but it looks more difficult than it is. Wear gloves when you're doing it. I always wear leather gloves. And you can see what I'm doing here. I'm basically rotating it around. I'm holding, I showed you my finger there. I'm pushing it in with my finger, pressing it in with my thumb. That's a real good look at it right there. And all you want to do is just go on all the way around until the whole thing is in. Once you get the coil all wound in there and pressed in, give it a good press just to make sure it's completely flat. And at this point you want to be really, really careful. Don't drop that assembly. Don't jar it around or bang it on anything, or the spring will probably pop right back out. So you're going to want to line that up with that notch that's in the housing. There's a loop in the end of the spring that's like a hook, and that hook's going to fit into that notch really nicely. Now what you want to do is get the bolt back in the center after you put the 2 yellow prongs in there. Get that in right away, and then that way it won't come back out and pop out on you and unravel again, because that middle screw is going to hold that assembly together so that that spring won't pop back out. So that's what I'm doing now, and you use a 5/16 socket to screw that in. All right, well, the next step is to preload the spring, which means you've got to have tension on that spring so it will coil the rope into the pulley. So in order to do that, you have to turn it counterclockwise, and what you need to do is count how many times around you want to turn it based on how long your cord is. Now it might take you 1 or 2 times to figure it out perfectly. I turned it backwards 4 turns, and 4 turns was enough to hold the rope in there, and that's where I'm holding this now. So what you have to do next is stick something in between the slots, just so it won't unwind on you. Basically, it's like you're winding a clock, but you don't want it to unwind. So I'm just going to stick that screwdriver all the way through and look for the hole now where the rope is going to go through the housing on the outside, and it has to go through the housing, and then it's got to go up into the plastic where we drilled that hole. And there you see I got it through and I pulled it out. So at this point, this is where we're going to want to tie a knot in it. All right, so we got the knot tied. And now hold on that spring assembly and pull out the screwdriver. It's not really tight, but it's going to coil back up in it. And I'm just helping it along here. I'm not actually turning it. I'm just letting the spring recoil very slowly for the first time in. And I'm holding it there with my left hand so it won't go too fast. So there it is. It's in all the way. And that looks pretty good. So you can give it a couple of pulls. We're going to put it right back on the way it came off. Remember, there's 4 bolts, 2 on the top, 1 on each side underneath. And there's a little tab on the right hand side where I'm showing you here. Just get that tab set in there where it's supposed to be. The recoil assembly fits on there pretty snug and pretty much only one way. You can see I pushed it on and the 2 top bolts fall right into place where they belong. As it stands, I was able to get it on with my 2 fingers and finish screwing it in with the socket wrench pretty easy. I tightened up the back bolt without showing you. It's just like the front one except a lot easier because that counterweight isn't in the back. It's wide open bolt. So now I'm just snugging down the 2 top bolts, and I would say be careful that you don't tighten it too much because you are tightening into aluminum. You can strip them real easy. Here we go. We're going to give it a try and give it some test pulls. I'm not going to bother starting it right now, but you can see it's perfect. It works perfect, and that's it. All right, well, it's fixed. You know, the reason I have this channel is so you can see that somebody like me can fix all these things or can do all these things, and that means you can do it too. It's very easy to fix this if you take your time with a few simple tools. So this is the Everyday Man saying thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.